Hey there, Postal here. So today we are taking out our trusty Tu-1. Why am I taking out the Tu-1? Am I bored and I want to just kill the world? Well, maybe. But I've actually got a mission. So this was a couple days ago. Still working on the Vasily Pavlov missions. That's the LA-5, the tier 6 Soviet fighter pilot that you can win. And I need to kill 5 enemy heavy fighters. So my thought process here was, well, if I'm in a heavy fighter, then it's going to guarantee that there's at least one heavy fighter on the enemy team. Don't typically have that issue. Good grief. I sure hope I get some more of those kind of hits. Don't typically have that issue on the NA, where you've only got like one heavy fighter per team. I've ran into that on EU. I've also ran into where you get like 3 on each side. So either way, I just wanted some consistency, and I figured if I have at least 2 on each side, which you should if you're in your own heavy fighter, then I should do well. And I wanted to play a Soviet plane. I try to, I don't know if anybody even notices this, but I try not to have like just playing too many American heavies in a, American planes in a row, or too many German planes in a row, too many Soviet planes in a row. I try to mix it up throughout the week, so you've got at least one video from each nation throughout the week, although sometimes missions and other things will dictate changes. But being the only Soviet heavy fighter in the game, and a damn good one at that, I figured let's go ahead and take this one out, and this will meet both my made-up requirements of needing a heavy fighter and a Soviet plane. If you're not familiar with this plane, shame on you. If you haven't bought this plane but you had the opportunity to, shame on you. I was lucky enough to win this when it first came out, but it is one of the few planes in the game that I just totally recommend people getting. It is straight up overpowered. I'm gonna have a mediocre game, and what I mean by that is a mediocre game in the Tu-1. Probably just slightly above like my quote-unquote average. And the only reason like you're not able to have like 20,000 games consistently in this plane is because you typically just steamroll the enemy team. So keep in mind, I've got a very specific mission I need to do. I need to knock out heavy planes. So I will be paying attention to the map quite a bit, trying to find out where these heavy planes are, and changing my tact based on that. You need to be, when you need to kill 5 in one battle, you definitely desperately need to know where those planes are, because God forbid you get to squall line and you've only got 4 and you need to get 1 kill and then they don't come back. So here's that first heavy fighter. We're going to use our super snipers. These 45mm cannons can aim out pretty darn far. Ooh, and when they both hit, suddenly there's no more heavy fighter in front of you. Alright, so we got a Key 102 in front of us here. Let's go ahead and see what we can do versus said Key 102. Looks like my sound in the game went out. I believe it comes back shortly. We'll have to remember. Let's see if we can get the snippety snipe. Snipe. Come on. Snipe. Snipe. Now right here I am tapping. So that way I don't overheat my cannons too much. I've knocked out both heavies, so I know I've got a couple minutes before they spawn back, or at least before I see them. So let's go ahead and do other heavy fighter type stuff. Let's go ahead and ruin this A-26B's life. That way they don't get the mining facility. I don't care if we get it. I just want to make sure that they don't. Remember, we're doing missions. So I'm not just out here just, trying to stomp and get wins. I am literally here to make the game last longer so I can get as many heavy fighter kills as possible. We've got our 2. And believe you me, you want to be paying attention to that kind of stuff when you're going for these missions. We've got our 2, and so we need 3 more. Seems pretty simple, right? But what can happen is, other people will kill those heavies. They don't even get to you before they die. And so that's why you need to force yourself to be going after these types of planes, rather than letting them just fall into your lap. Yeah, you might not necessarily have the best game, but you complete the mission. And my goal is to get, the Soviet pilot, which I did, And I'm going to be tossing out some LA5 games with the Soviet pilot. I might actually do that Sunday. I don't know, Sunday or Monday. I don't normally post videos on Sunday, but it might be. I've already recorded some gameplay in the LA5 with the new pilot, so it might be a good time to. Good God. These guns are so frickin' funny. Like, miss, miss, miss. And then when they hit, it's just like, bye-bye. Yeah, the Tu-1 is honestly overpowered. And I wouldn't know how to balance it. Like, maybe shorter range. It's not like the longest range, but it's definitely longer than average. And I believe I've got long gun barrels on here. Yeah. We'll take a look after the battle. Alright, so we've got a heavy fighter in the distance. We need to prioritize them. Try to get rid of this guy on the way to getting the heavy fighter because we don't need to set ourselves up to die. Well, he's getting too far away. So I was hoping to kill that multi-roll, and that way, don't have to worry about him coming behind us. But took out that Ki-102. Oh my goodness, this plane is so ridiculous. Tell me this plane isn't ridiculous and I'll call you a liar. Alright, so we've got this XP-75. XP-75 is a very, very maneuverable Tier 7 premium. The Tu-1 is the least maneuverable, so we definitely need to make sure that we're getting our guns on target as quickly as possible before he knows what the hell's up. Cool, so we've got 4. And we're only a little bit over halfway through the game. Or match. Squall lines coming in though, so I don't think either of the heavy fighters will be spawning before the squall line, or at least I won't see them before the squall line, I don't think. So we really definitely need to be mindful of getting our 5th and final kill. There's been plenty of games I've had where I get like 4 heavy fighter frags and am just not able to get that 5th one. We definitely don't want to die now, because that would just be terrible. So we've got a Ki-102, which can be a ridiculously bad plane to get behind you. Any plane behind you is bad. There we go, got rid of that multi-roll so we can focus on what we want to focus on. Alright, squall line's in, so we need to get a heavy kill now. I think I can get this guy if he's not paying attention. But a Ki-102 is another very maneuverable plane. If he wants to turn out of the way, we're toast. And at this point, it was just, I didn't even care. I needed to kill myself, if that's what it took, to make sure I got the Ki-102 kill. And I'm probably going to die here. I don't even remember. It's what you get for recording a video 2 days ago and then trying to do a voiceover on it. Alright, got Flying Paladin. Well, alright, cool. Where is our XP-75 friend? He's going the other direction. It's all good. I've got my 5 kills. Now let's actually focus on the win. I was trying to balance out, making sure that like certain sectors didn't get lost or completely overrun. So we're definitely going to win this battle, whether we die now or not. But again, at the end of the day, I don't care about that. At least until I get my my mission done. So we got our 5 heavy frags. And we got some more. We got a McCampbell here, got a grade 2, got a McGuire, got all kinds of fun stuff. Actually got that mission that shows that I killed 6, I guess. Alright, so honestly nothing out of the ordinary for this particular plane. Nothing over the top, nothing like unknown to a Tu-1 player. But other than, did play a little wonky because I was specifically going for heavy fighters over any other targets, which would sometimes put me at a disadvantage. But overall, was able to get the mission that I wanted to get, was able to win the game as well, and have a pretty good impact overall. Yeah, so I mean, hey, who doesn't like the Tu-1? Everybody likes the Tu-1. I'm going to go over a few things of how I've got this particular plane set up, since this was a request video. First things first, the equipment. There's a special radio equipment that was received when I won this plane. I don't know if this particular equipment is available for all people that get the Tu-1 or not, but if you're able to get it, use it. Concealment and being able to detect the enemy is very, very awesome in this plane since you've got such incredibly long range weapons. I've gone ahead and put the engine boost mixture on this just to help the actual boost time frame, the ability of the boost while I'm using it. It's definitely helped out being able to keep up with or catch up to planes that I need to. I've gone all in on the long range. I've got long range gun barrels on here. And, you know, the ability to reach out as far as I can definitely makes a difference for sure. We'll go into that in a little bit more detail. As far as my rear turret equipment is concerned, I've added to the firing range of this. The rear turret isn't the best thing in the world, but it is relatively strong, but it's just the enemies have to be at the correct angle, which is why it's so important to be able to angle up and angle down when you have, when you're in the turret view. Other than that, my consumable mixture here is the kind of odd for a heavy fighter, especially this heavy fighter, I suppose. But we've got the first aid. That's what I highly recommend for anything light fighter, multi-role fighter, heavy fighter. You want first aid. The odd thing that I've got going on here is pneumatic control assist. I've got it on here just in case I'm dogfighting for whatever reason against a heavy fighter and I just need that little bit of oomph to outturn him. The wings and tail don't get knocked out all that often on this plane, and it doesn't catch on fire. Well, I mean, it catches on fire from time to time, but not enough for me to use the exhaust bleed system. So I've gone ahead and gone with pneumatic control assist, but really it's a crapshoot for the airframe. You can toss in whatever you're most comfortable with. I've put in the engine cooling, again, in conjunction with the engine boost. It really allows me to get up to a high speed and catch up or not. Otherwise, we've got universal ammunition on here, and for both the turret and the pilot. Speaking of which, you want to go all in when it comes to accuracy on this particular plane, and then I've gone for Engine Guru on here. You don't have a lot of airframe or engine equipment slots, so going with something like Aerodynamics Expert doesn't make a whole lot of sense. An argument could be made after you do your accuracy, because you're just going to want all in on your accuracy, that's for sure. First 5 points is going to go Marksman, Marksman 2. Argument could be made for Cruise Flight. It's really up to your playstyle. I think Cruise Flight's probably going to be the next item I get on mine, and then I'll get Engine Guru 2. For the rear gunner, I've gone ahead and done quick reflexes and the defensive fire. Again, just to help live a little bit longer if I can. And I'm going with the armor and eventually have the ballistics expert on here. Relatively common setup for the gunner. Anyway, I absolutely love this plane. I don't know anybody that doesn't love this plane except for enemies. If you get a chance to get it, and this is your, you like the long derpy playstyle, I highly recommend jumping on. Let's see, the optimal distance is 3,700 feet, so it is at about 1,200 meters. But you saw that I was able to hit out at, this is about 4,500 feet or so, which is what, like 1,400 meters. And so, you've got the ability to really have a huge impact with this particular plane. In this battle, I would like to think showcase that. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was a good enough game in the Tu-1. I know the Tu-1 has pretty high ceiling. I can tell you I very often get above 20,000 K. 20,000 K, that's repetitive. But this is one of those planes that I can get above 20K personal points relatively often in it if I'm really pushing for it. And I really do enjoy playing this plane. So anyway, I hope it helped, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.